Are you guys there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, have you guys done any question on sliding window after tomorrow's session? No. Okay. So today we will continue from there only. So yesterday at last we were doing a sliding window question. Let's go for the another question. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. So this is the question which we are going to do. Wait, let me pick the easier one, otherwise it would be too much. Okay, let's start with this one. Okay, guys, just give it a read to this question. So basically, first it says that a substring is a continuous non-empty sequence of the character within a string. I think yesterday we have already discussed like what is substring, what is subarray, what is subsequence. So there is nothing more to discuss here. Then it says that a vowel string is a substring that only consists of A, E, I, O, U that has all five vowels present in it. Given a string, return the number of vowel substrings in the word. Okay. So we are given a string. We need to find out all the substrings which contains all the vowels. And vowels are A, E, I, O, U. So how we can find out all the substrings which have A, E, I, O, U? And it should only contain A, E, I, O, U, nothing else at all.
We'll try to traverse through the array.
Okay. You mean the string? Okay.
This thing, and searching for this values variables A, E, I, O, U.
Okay, and then?
And then on finding like 0 and 1, if it is found, then 1 is iterated, like we'll go for the next, and if not found, 0 is there, and then come out of the loop.
And also how you will get to know that we have found out all the vowels and how you are going to search it. Anyone else? Think about how we can use the sliding window here. We need to find out all the substrings that only contains the vowel, nothing else. Basically, substring should only contain A, E, I, O, U, nothing else. They can have multiple A's, multiple E, multiple U. That is fine, but not anything else except A, E, I, O, U. And we need to find out how many substrings are there from a given string. Think about how we can use the sliding window here. Anyone? Abhinav, Sahil, Surbi, Sadia.
Yesterday, like we did one question 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In that, we have put index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and size was 5, and there's a key. So,
Mm-hmm.
something like that will take like 3 And
Yeah, so you are not you are like partially right. We but while traversing the string, we can have a hash map. If you guys remember, we have discussed the hash map yesterday.
yes,
Okay, so we can have a hash map for A, E, I, O, U. While traversing, we will mark that what we have already seen, and at every iteration, we can find out that hey, if we have seen all the vowels already, then we can try to. That means we have already found out one of the substrings. Anyone else? Sadia, you raised the hand before. Okay, no, let's come here. Let's say this is our uh, example one. Okay, so just give me a minute.
I think you are on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I was saying that for all those guys who have just joined late, so basically we are doing another question on sliding window, which is based on the kind of a slightly optimized concept of shrinking. In this question, we are given a string where we need to find out all the substrings which contains all the vowel character, which means A, E, I, O, U. So you need to find out all the substrings which contains A, E, I, O, U. There can be a repetition in the substrings, that is fine, but there should not be any other character in that substrings. And we need to find out how many substrings we can create from that in that way. So yesterday at class we learned the concept of sliding window. So we are going to use that concept to solve this problem. So let's say we have created a hash map of this for this one, which is A E I O U. What we are going to do is we are going to start traversing this string one by one. We will check if it is vowel or not. First iteration, let's say first call, first one. So it is what A. So A is a vowel. That means we will set our starting index, which is I, to 0, and we'll store the A here. Say that hey, we have got the A already, the count is 1. Okay. Till now, have we got all of the vowel character which is A, E, I, O, U? No. So the answer is still going to be no. 0, that means. Let's go to the second one. Second, we have got E. Okay. E is also a vowel, so we will store it here also. That hey, we have got one more E. I will still remain same because nothing is going to get changed. As yesterday I told you when to change I and when to change J. Again, we will check have we got all the characters which we need, which is A, E, I, O, U? No, only we have only got two characters, which is A and E. So the answer is still going to remain same. Let's go to the third one. Third one is what? I. Now what will happen? According to you guys, what should happen now?
Like the answer will not change. You'll just increase in type.
Okay, so we will just increment the I, and answer is still going to remain 0. When I say answer, answer is representing the number of substrings which we have found out till now, till that third index basically. So everything is, nothing is going to change there. And this I, this starting I, start index, if you remember from yesterday, this is start index, which is representing the window. Okay. So let's go to the fourth one. Fourth one is what? O. Now again the same thing, that hey, we have got O now. Let's increment it to 1. Answer is still going to remain 0 because nothing, we have not got all the vowel characters yet. Let's go to the fifth one. Fifth one is what? U. Now we have set it to U. Now, is anything else going to change now?
Yes, we found one substring, so I'll increment answer as well.
Yeah. So we have found our new. Sorry, we as we can see, we have got all of the vowels. That means we will increment the answer to 1. Okay. Now we will try to check one more thing, that hey, if I remove the first index, can I still create, can I still have this A, E, I, O, U? If I remove the A, if I say, hey, let's try I plus plus, that means our window will now start from I plus plus, which is 1 only. Will that give us new substring?
No.
No. So we are not going to do this thing. This is what we are trying to say. This is called shrinking. That hey, let's say, just for an example, let's say the given string is something like this: AAE I O U. You know, till here, whenever when you reach the end, then only you will be able to find out a substring. You will say, hey, ANS is equivalent to 1. But then your starting window is from here. Then you can try to see if, hey, if I try to shrink the window, can I still achieve the same thing which we are looking to achieve? So what you will do, you will remove this A and the start window will start from here. Still we are having A, E, I, O, U. That means the answer will be 2. This is why this shrinking needs to be happened basically. As I have told you, in the substring, you can have you can have a repetition of any vowel, but the only requirement is that all the vowels should be in the substring. Okay. Now let's continue with the same question. So we can't do any shrinking here. Cannot shrink. Sixth one. What is sixth one? It is again U. The U count will become 2. Now we have again find out one more substring. So the answer will become now 2. Now again try to shrink the window. If we try to shrink the window again, can we again get a substring if we try to remove this A? No, we can't. So that means this is our final answer. There are three things. There are two things majorly in the sliding window. One is I pointer and another one is J pointer. This is the starting of the window. Starting. And this is ending. In a sliding window, you will majorly play with these things only. You need to know when to change the value of starting. You need to know when to change the value of ending. And whenever we are shrinking, most of the time you will change the value of I, because you have not tried out the combination with the next J and you already know the I have already used it. Now you try to slide the window or shrink the window to see if you can still achieve the same operation or not, sorry, same constants or not, which you are looking to achieve. Is this entire thing clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Can you guys explain me about this one then? How we will do this one? The how the answer is, let's say 7 for this one. Tell me step by step how you are going to solve this. So this is hash map. Let me create it directly since we are going to definitely have it. A, E, I, O, U. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, now what will happen in first iteration? Tell me.
Like we will start with the placing start and end at C, and we'll see if C is a vowel or not. It's not a vowel, then we'll skip the whole iteration.
Okay. If C is not vowel, then we will skip the whole iteration. What does that mean?
Directly incrementing J.
And what about I?
Yeah, we can increment I as well, I guess.
We can or we should?
We should, because ideally the answer should only contain vowels.
Okay. Then what will happen in second iteration?
We'll see whether like J is a vowel or not. It's a vowel, so we'll increment its count in the hash map.
Okay. What will be the value of I and J?
I is also 1, J is also 1. After this iteration, J will be 2.
Okay. The third one?
A is also vowel, so we'll increment its count in hash map. And still, like, the size of hash map is not 5, so we'll not increment answer.
Okay, we have taken this one. Let me represent ANS here, which is 0. Fourth one. What should happen now?
The I is also a vowel. We increment the count, and still, like, we have not got all the vowels, so we'll just move J.
Okay. This is our current window. Okay. Then fifth one.
Same for E.
What will be the value of I?
1.
I is still 1, yeah.
Okay. I still 1. J.
J is 5.
J is 5. What should be the value of E in the hash map?
1.
Okay. 1. This is our current window. Okay. Next one. I should be still 1. J would be what? 6. Okay.
Yes, repetition is allowed.
And then what?
We'll increment U, and still the size of hash map is not 5, so we'll again move J.
Okay. Let me check whether the value J is correct or not. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 5, 6. Okay. Yeah, I think we messed up here. So J was 1 here. It was 2 here. It was 3 here. It was 4 here. It was 5 here. Now it makes sense. Let's have a think in a development. Yeah. What will happen at seventh iteration?
So like this time we got O, we'll increment the count, and you'll see the size of hash map is 5. So we'll increment the answer as well.
Okay. Plus 1. That means answer is 1. Then
Now, like within this iteration, we should try to see whether like we can find one more answer or not after shrinking. So we'll shrink I as well.
how you will shrink it?
I will increment I.
Okay. Shrink. So you will increment I. So I will become what? 2.
Yes, to
J will still remain 6. Can
correct.
I? Are we still? So there is when we are incrementing the I, na, we need to also update this hash map. So what was it? I equivalent to 1.
U. So we'll decrement
U.
the count to 1.
Correct. 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 So new count of U would be 1. And we can see we have again found out one more substring. Okay. Next one. Yeah. Should we shrink it more now?
We will try to shrink, but we will see that as soon as we will remove A, the size of hash map will decrease, not shrink it further.
Okay. So definitely the size of hash map will decrease because if we remove A, there is no more A in the entire substring, so we can't do it more.
Right.
Okay. Okay then. So our new current window is this one. Okay, let's move on then. Yeah. So next is the eighth iteration. What will happen in eighth iteration?
We'll increment the count of you as well as increment the count of answer.
What will be the value of I?
I will be at A.
2, you mean.
Yeah.
J will be at 7. As you said, value of A will be incremented, so it will become 2.
2.
Value of you, not A.
If you see the window, we have already covered the U, no? That's why we were able to shrink it.
But like we have two U's in our and our count is 1. Like if you see
Ah,
the
okay, I messed up then. Correct. Correct. Okay. So this is going to remain 1 and this will become 2. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Correct. Okay. So I will be 2, J will be 7. Anything else is going to change here?
answer will also change.
Okay. Do we need to shrink here?
We will try, but no, we will not shrink because A is still 1.
Okay, cut then. Then that should be the next step, which is the ninth one. Will the value of I change?
No.
J will become what? 8. The value of, just give me a second, sorry. Just give me a second. Yeah. So we were at ninth iteration. J was equivalent to 2 and sorry, I was equivalent to 2, J was equivalent to 8. Have you already implemented the hash map for that?
Yes, we have incremented U as well.
But for ninth iteration, we will be incrementing the A, na? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So A should become 2 now,
Right.
right? Okay. Yeah. So now we have got again one more new substring. So the answer should be 4 now. Should we shrink it now?
Yes, this time we can shrink it because after removing A, we like the length of hash map is still 5.
Okay. So we'll do the shrink.
Like this should be 10th iteration, right?
After 8, it comes 9th. Na?
J should be 9, but the iteration should be 10th, right? Because we started iteration from 1 first.
No, I think we are going fine. If 9, it's 9th iteration, then J should be 8. Simple thing. Because at first iteration, J was 0. So the difference is of 1 only between the iteration and the iteration number and the J. At every iteration, we will always increment J. After shrinking, what will be the value of I?
I will be 3.
I will be 3 and J will still remain same. And the value of A will be what?
1.
1. And what is our new window which is currently holded? It is this one. This 2, this one. Now, can we shrink more?
No, like if we'll remove I, then the length of hash map will reduce.
Okay. Okay. Then I think we are at our last iteration then. 10th one. I will be 3. J will be what? 9. And C is not there at all. So we have nothing to create as such. The answer is 4 according to us, but the answer is 7 here. So what we have missed out?
I think we have not included this A. Just a second.
So we were able to find out this one. The first one, we saw that one. We saw the second one also. Then
We took a window for five alphabets only, like I think.
okay, I think
Uh,
the change which we have made is after this one, we shrink the window
yes.
and they have not shrinked it. After this one, we shrink the window and they did not shrink it. I think that was the only difference which I am able to see. Can anyone tell me how we are going to update our strategy? Because it's clear we are missing some of the strings. So from this example 3, you guys should be you should be able to find it out at like what change we require in our strategy.
I mean, when we are shrinking,
Mhm.
we should update the answer as well because after updating it,
But we were updating it. Huh? I mean, whenever we shrinked and we found out a new one, we always updated the answer. The issue is here, if I tell you, here we shrink the window, but they did not.
right.
That's the only difference. So the strategy should be you keep going on and on until and unless you hit a roadblock where you can't move on. And then only you try to shrink, and shrinking should not be only from the left side, it can be also from the right side. Let me show you how. So we got this string, great. We got this one also. But after this, we shrink the window from the left, saying that, hey, we can cut the first u and we can still get the what? We can still get a one of the substring. But because of that, we have messed up. We were not able to find out this one actually. I don't think so. We saw this one, the longest one. We should not shrink here. We should keep going on. And when we hit a roadblock, because whenever we see any non-vowel character, then after that point, everything will be resetted. I, J, all of those things. I mean, I will be definitely resetted. Once we hit this kind of roadblock, then they started shrinking. Then what they say is, hey, should we shrink the window from left first or should we shrink the window from right first?
Right.
Because you see, from this one, you can reach to this one. From this one, you can reach to this one. Okay, let me show you it. Let's decide what is the number one, number two, and number three. So first one is definitely going to be a number one substance which we will get while we are traversing. This will be number two. This will be number three. What should be number four?
Number four, this
Selected
second.
one. Now, I will tell you how basically. This will be 5. This will be. Uh, wait. Yeah, sorry. This will be 5. This will be 6. This will be 7. Now I will tell you how. So 1, 2, 3 is clear to everyone because that is straightforward. Okay. Let's start with the next one. U, A, I, E, U, O, U, A. This is the third one. Now, from third to 4, what should I do? To reach from 3 to 4, what should I do?
Shrink from start.
That means cut U. So the new string will be what? A, I, E, U, O. Also, whenever the explanation is given in the example, it does not mean the answer is coming out in that sequence. They are just giving you the explanation. That does not mean that the order needs to be, that the order would be that way. This is what fourth one. Now, what should I do to reach from 4 to 5?
Again, shrink from start.
I, E, U, O, U, A. Fifth one. What should I do to move from 5 to 6?
Like 6
5 to 6. The
but
third last.
contains A as well.
Yeah. So we can't move from that way, but can we move from 4 to 6?
Incrementing I and taking one more, like,
Not that way, actually. Okay. We can't move, we can't reach from 5 to 6, but can we reach from 4 to 6?
Yes, shrinking from the end.
Yeah. So from 4, there we are having two follow up basically. One is hey, because you know at the left also you have a, and at the right also you have a. So first, either you can remove the last one and then you can go through the chain, or you can remove the first one and then you can follow the chain. So basically from fourth, if I draw a flow chart, 1, 2, 3, 4. From 4 we got 5. From 4 only we got 6, and 7 you can get from anyone basically. Sorry, not from anyone, but from 6 basically. Are you getting it? How these strings are created?
Yeah, we are getting like, but like it doesn't matter now. Like if we like we can first try to shrink from the start as much as possible.
Yeah,
And
yeah. That's why I said that from 4, either you can first go to 6. That is also not an issue. The
okay,
numbering which I have done does not represent the order. The order is represented by this flow chart, which I have done in the right.
from 2 also we can get 7, right?
From 2 also we can get 7. From the issue with that is you are making 2 moves at one place.
Okay.
Since we are doing the incremental changes, in that case we may miss out some other strings. That's why at every iteration we are only making a single move.
Okay. Mm.
Now then, if this is the case, then how we need to move the strategy? I mean, we need to definitely make some changes to our strategy while we are using the traversal, because we were traversing whenever we were getting the window. So how should we solve it now?
like I'm not getting this thing. Like let's say I first started shrinking from start and I shrink up to such an extent where I can not shrink more from start. Then I
Okay.
started shrinking from left. Like will that approach will work or not? Because I
Can
don't
you
think
come again?
like first we only shrinked from start
Okay.
and so let's
When
say
you
come to
what
5.
is when
After
no no my
5,
my I have a different question.
yeah.
When are you going to shrink from left? Like what is that point? Hey, now we should start shrinking. What is that condition to start shrinking? That is the issue. I mean, that is where the problem is. If you are shrinking it proactively, then definitely we are going to miss out the chance. For example, after this third one, sorry, not after this third one, after the second one, we got this U and U at the both end, and you are proactively shrinking the things. So
Yeah,
we
I
cut out the first U,
correct. And
and
I'll
we missed out every other possibilities then in that case because of that.
yeah, right. So this like how will solve this?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. I mean
Okay.
that how we will update the code basically.
I think we'll search for AEIOU and repetitions are allowed. And after that, when we'll try for shrinking, then it will start from like U is the last one is A, like A is repeating and U is repeating. So probably either from the left or from the right, any one side we can start checking. So
Actually, I have a interesting question to ask. Do you think that we really need the first U in the third one
first
at all?
two,
This one.
mm,
Without this U also, we are going to achieve what we are going to achieve.
yes, but
Okay.
then the window will be like half
But if you
of
see
that.
after that, anyway, nowhere
A
they have
and
used
all.
this U at all. This U is not
Mm,
used anywhere at all. Based on our strategy, also we were till third point we were going correct till two. But on the third one, what they did is they did not shrink it; they just directly added it. But it is not making sense at all. If I remove this U, will it make a change for us in any way? We are still having the U. No. Okay. Then consider that this U is not there at all. Let's start it that way. Okay, I have one question just to go through it
Like,
again.
I'm
I
thinking
think
we should try to expand window as much as possible at the first instance itself.
you are saying that
Let's try to expand the window as much as possible. Let's say when we are at U, we'll just keep expanding, and like we'll be getting the answer as well as soon as we'll hit the length of hash map.
in that case you will have to shrink from right also, and that will create the branches.
Okay.
I mean that is also one of the solution which I discussed initially. That when I told you that from four you can cut two branches which is five and six. Basically, you can have either shift the left first or shift the right first, and then again you can have make more moves basically. But what I'm trying to find out here is if we remove this U here itself and we just go with this, what is going to be the issue for us? Can we make a move from let's say from this three? What can be our next move based on our current strategy which we have used for dry run? If I don't include you in the third, in the three,
It will be 5.
it will be five. Okay, correct. Oh, correct. It can be five, but then there is a issue that you can't achieve four without without that left and right combination. So what I'm trying to tell you guys, like how you should think when you are solving the problem basically. Whenever whatever concept you are learning, it's not going to be very straightforward to use them in all the questions. You will have to make some changes to your existing strategy based on the question. Maybe you may miss some edge cases, and then you will again reshift your concept. The concept is still going to remain same, but few things may change. For example, here we are not just doing the shrinking from the left, but we can also do the shrinking from the right also.
I
So
mean,
what should go ahead.
हम ऐसा नहीं कर सकते कि let's try to understand कि U से फर्स्ट आंसर मुझे मिलेगा O पर, राइट?
फर्स्ट आंसर हमको मिलेगा ओ पर. ओ मीन्स दिस वन. ओके
राइट.
ओके देन
अब मैं O से एक्सपेंड करना स्टार्ट किया, जब मैंने U करा तो भी मेरे को एक आंसर मिला, तब मैं A गया तब भी मेरे को एक आंसर मिला, जैसे ही मुझे C मिला आई विल स्टार्ट श्रिंकिंग विंडो फ्रॉम द स्टार्ट. 3 आंसर मुझे ऑलरेडी मिल चुके हैं.
फ्रॉम स्टार्ट. ओके आर यू गोइंग टू मेक अ shrinking from the right also? From start I got it, from the left you will do it.
No, like from in that case we don't need to shrink from right because we already included that answer.
Okay, correct. Then
अब मेरे पास ऑलरेडी 3 आंसर हैं, देन आई विल स्टार्ट श्रिंकिंग फ्रॉम द लेफ्ट. तो मैंने यू हटाया, मेरे पास स्टिल अ वैलिड आंसर जो कि यूनिक है, अभी तक काउंट नहीं हुआ है.
ठीक है.
4. फिर मैंने a हटाया, एक और आंसर है बिकॉज मेरे पास स्टिल द लेंथ ऑफ हैश मैप इज 5.
Mm-hmm.
जैसे
So
ही मैं
basically, we don't need to do the shrinking from the right because we are already doing it when we are saying from I to J, when we are going from left to right. Let's say at 4, you were having count of 3. You have shifted, okay. Let's then, whatever strategy you are saying, let's dry run it faster. Let's see. Okay. Wait. I don't know. Oh, no, yeah, got it. Okay. Let's dry run it and let's see how it goes. And this time, let's do it faster. Let me add the indexes so that we don't get confused from like last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Although it's not useful, kind of 8 ruler. Okay, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 1. Okay, we have first iteration. I was equivalent to 0, J was equivalent to 0, A, B, C, D, and E. Okay. Answer is what till now? 0.
it should be A, E, I, O, U.
Okay, sorry. Yes, it should be A, E, I, O, U. Correct. A, A, E, I, O, U. Okay, just 1 second. Let's see if I can update the pencil nip. No issue. Okay. Till now everything is 0. Answer is equivalent to 0 only. Let's go to the second iteration. I will be equivalent to 1. J will be equivalent to 1. Have we got the answer? No. At 1 we have U. So U will be 1 here. Let's move on. The next one. Third. I will be still 1. J will be what?
2.
2. J at J we have what? A. A will become 1. Next one. I is what? 1. J is what? 3. At 3 we have what? I. So I will become again 1. Fifth one. I equivalent to again 1. J is what? 4. At 4 we have what? E. E became 1. Sixth one. I still remains 1.
Right.
J will be at what? 5.
Right.
So at 5 we have what? U.
U.
U becomes again basically plus 1. Okay. Next. It is 7th basically. At 7 we have what? I equivalents to again 0.
1.
And sorry 1. And J is equivalent to what?
6.
6. At 6 we have what? O.
Oh.
Now we have found out one of the answer.
Yeah, like this time just increment the answer and still keep expanding.
Okay, let's go to it then. I is what? Again 1.
1.
J is what?
7.
7. What is at 7? It is U.
U. Increment
So again plus 1.
and I
Which is equivalent to 3.
answer. Yeah.
9. And one more answer we have got. Plus 1 equivalent to 2. Okay. Next. The I is still 1.
Right.
J is what?
8.
J is 8. Okay. J is 8. At 8 we have what? A. Basically it becomes 2. We have again found out one more. We
Right.
can say it is 3 now.
Right. I'll again try to expand J, but this time I got a non-vowel. So this time I'll start shrinking.
Okay, let's say we have, okay, we are at 9th only, no? Already, no? Okay. At 10th, we will try to go, but we will hit the roadblock. And then now what we should do? Let's
Now
see.
we start shrinking from start.
We start shrinking from start. So that means I will become what?
I will become from 1 to 2. Like we removed U from the hash map first.
I will become 2 and J will still remain what? 10? Sorry, 9, whatever
I,
you say. 9, 10, it doesn't make any difference. At I1, what was there? U. So
U.
we will cut the U. It will become 2
And still we got one answer because we still
plus
have length of hash map as
5,
well.
4. Okay.
Right.
Next one. What is the next one then?
I
Again, we will shrink from left.
right.
Okay, I will not mention the J. We are not making any change to J for now. So if I becomes 3, that means we are again decrementing the count of A. That means A will become what? 1.
One right.
Again, we have one more answer. 5. Next. I became what? 4. If I became 4, we are removing I, and will it work?
No,
No,
like this time. Like,
it will
yeah.
not work because I is only single. So we can't make this move, cut it. Now, don't you think should we start shrinking from right now?
Oh,
Now you see what is going to be the issue.
and
Even
then
from right, we can't make a move.
right.
That's why I'm saying that from left only it will not work straightforward. We will have to do that shrinking. Now tell me how we can
Uh,
like fix this problem. Yeah,
Sir,
go
I
ahead.
have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can shrinking be done from both the sides? Because
Yes.
as the word says, shrinking. So shrink, we need to like if we stretch anything, so it can be from done from one side. But if we are shrinking, so both the sides are involved, right? So
Yeah. No. So it depends on the question. As I said, you can do the shrinking from both the side also, and you are going to do it in many questions.
okay,
It depends on the question, like how, what is the need of it.
all right.
So how we are going to solve this now?
Because then C and U, we have taken all these strings possible with the starting from U, that is U is one index, and when we find seventh index U, we take the string and accept it, and then we shrink like U from both the sides. We remove U and we take that A. That's why.
But the issue is if you remove the roadblock which we hit was here. This
Okay.
whatever A you remove, if you remove the first A, then you are missing out the
Mm-hmm.
possibility of other rows. For example, like we already removed the first A and then we went to I, E, U, O, U. But
Okay.
we missed out one use case, which was this one. We missed this one because we were
Because
holding this U at that point of time also.
all right. Hmm. Right.
That's why we missed this out basically. So how we can solve this problem? Tell me, guys. Think how we can solve this. Should we start shrinking from right? And even if we do it, the question is not going to be as such straightforward. Anyone have any solution? Okay. If I ask you how to solve this brute force approach, how you will solve it?
Like we'll generate all substrings and we'll see like how many of them only contains all rows.
Correct.
Yeah.
What issue we are facing in this solution, which we are trying to do in the sliding window? What is the main issue we are not able to solve this?
Like we are missing certain solution because of this branching.
Okay. And what is the way how to solve this branching? Is there anything? Because if we are doing the branching, it will go into the recursion which we have not studied yet,
Right.
and this will become too much complex also.
Probably in the above statement, it's given that you just have to find the substrings. So, how many combinations are possible? Only
But
that.
if we go to combinations, it will become a recursion. It will become a little bit more complex. We have not studied recursion and backtracking yet.
Okay.
Like can we just keep incrementing two instead of one, because we know like after this branching we are going to get two solutions.
So sorry, you said instead of incrementing one, what?
Increment two, like at that point where start
In
and end
two
have
to what? I mean two to what?
answer.
But how I um okay, I did it then. But the issue is not that. With every possibility, it can have
It
multiple
will be
possibilities
correct. Like there
that
can be
you cannot calculate that we are not able to calculate preemptively, like proactively. So the issue which we are facing is like we are trying to shrink from the left only, and whenever we are doing it, we are missing out the possibility of some other combination. For example, we did it at Lix when the I was 4. When I became 4, which means we removed I, we were not able to find out the rest of the strings basically. Which strings we were not able to find out? Let's try to find that first. We have got the answer according to us, which was 5. Which strings we missed out? Which are those strings which we missed out? So third one we got it clearly, and after third one we did the left one, then the left one again. So which one we missed?
sixth one we missed, I guess,
We missed seventh one for sure. Okay.
and sixth as well.
Sixth also, yes. What can we do to make sure that we are not missing this out?
Start thinking from the right. I think because if we are starting from the left, we'll miss the combinations like
So are you
traversing.
saying we should do the shrinking from right
Yes,
only?
from the right. Yes.
But I don't see it as a sense because we are coming from left to right. So we just added that character. So removing it will like throw us into the same situation. Nothing is going to get changed. So at one point you are not having the next character. At second point you have the next character. Now you are saying let's backtrack it again and go back to the previous character. So don't we
Uh,
think we are going to the same thing again? I mean, there is nothing new state which we are getting from that. What if I say you decrement based on the count of those values? Will that work out? From left and right, you check all the characters. You check right left character also, right character also, and then you see which have higher count. Based on that, you cut from left or right. Can that work out?
yes. Uh,
Because if you see from this third one, here the highest character count which we have got was for you.
you. Yes.
Eventually, we did that well till this point. So when we made I equivalent to 2, we were fine. We were doing fine there because I u count was 2. Now after that, U count was 2, and the A count was 1, basically. Sorry, 2. What I'm trying to say is we should try to shrink by maybe by left and right, by the count of the given character. If someone have a higher count of the character, then we will decrement it instead of that which do not have anything, which have lesser
Uh,
count.
like factorial concept something. Uh, if the repetitions are there, so we'll like start eliminating from there itself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like factorial 3 is there, so we divide by 3. So 1 factorial gets subtracted. So
Not in
similarly,
that way. It
if
should be a straightforward. That hey, count,
yeah,
compare the count of left
yes,
and right, and
yeah,
whosoever is bigger, try to get it. Okay, let's see.
yes.
At this point, the count of U was 3, the count of A was 2, so we cut this one. Once we cut this one, we got what? We got this one. Now here we have the issue. We have A at both the points, so there is nothing to compare basically. What should we do when at both the ends we have same character?
Start shrinking.
What if we compare the previous character?
What do you mean by previous character? Like we have already deleted you because its frequency was higher.
When I say previous, that means the closest one to the inner world. That means I and you. If we compare I and you, we know the count of you is higher than I. Then we will do what you said. Increment the character count by 2, one for that one and for this one, and we cut the last A, because we know we have higher tendency of getting more substrings because there is more repetition of you in the near towards the right. I know we are like making it more complex, but let's keep the discussion on.
Okay, so you are saying that at the point where I'll have both same start and end,
Correct.
I'll see like what is the maximum character, like what's the maximum occurrence of character, that's you. It has 3 count, and with both A, it can have multiple answers. So we'll just
Yes,
first calculate number of answers with 1A possible, and we'll already add that.
yes, yes. So instead of cutting the first A, if we cut the last A, because we know if we cut the last A, we are going to get the chance to cut the extra U which we are having, and we can get an extra string in that way.
Okay.
If you remember, the string which we were missing out was 6 and 7 only, not anything else. When we got A and A at both the end, we will add 1. We will cut the last A. Why we are cutting the last A? Hey, because U is nearer to A and it has a higher frequency, which is not even required. So we cut the last A, we got the 6. Now we cut the U and we got the 7.
Any
But
concept
what
like primary key over here, if we can keep
Yeah, this is a
both.
kind of a try. Like if you think it that way, then definitely you can solve it better. But again, it is again going into the recursion and backtracking.
Okay.
like what if my previous is also same? Like instead of you and I, whatever, what if I would have you and you, or let's say A and A, then we'll just
Same thing. What we did in two pointer.
like we'll just keep checking the previous.
Yes. Yeah. We need to make a decision what to do. What
Like
right now what we are doing is we are just discussing just to like explore your thinking. So don't worry too much about anything about the solution. But let's try to think more like what we can do with this sliding window thing. Like how many possibilities are there? How in how many ways the sliding window can be used? Basically. So as you said that if let's say if the A and we were comparing you and I, what if they both are same? Or what if they both have the same count? Let's not forget. Let's talk
Right.
about the same character also.
Yeah, exactly.
Because same character is a much more bigger problem than same count is a bigger problem than same character. Because decision making is much more harder in that case. Then what we do? Also, you will find this question as an easy question in the lead code, but this is not easy question at all.
Yeah, definitely, it's not easy.
Until unless you want to use the brute force. So think what more we can do here. Just whatever is coming to your mind, throw it. Then we can discuss like how we can solve it.
The issue is that here we need substring only. Otherwise, I would have said something like uh, just have unique and then subtracted from the length of the string. That many of subsequences.
Taking you as a middle, like we have done in binary search something, if we can try.
But how? Okay.
Splitting,
How you will
splitting.
use binary search here? There's no like I mean, let's think about it. Like how you will use binary search in what in what way you will use and what you will try to find out by using binary search. There is no order here. The characters are not even sorted in any format. So how we will use this
Uh,
binary
why
search?
I was thinking about this because
Sorry, by
if you gets repeated, uh, it's allowed, but A was shrinked as soon as it got repeated. Like in the third and the uh, U was allowed 3 times, but A got shrinked as soon as it was repeated. So
okay.
that's why I was.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think so that will be able to solve the question. I mean, I was trying to think how we can apply the binary search here. There is no sorting, there is nothing.
Mhm.
Can we solve it by using two sliding window thing here? Think in that way. Do you guys remember in your like 11, 12, you must have done this question where in the sets that I mean, you have the union, you have the intersection, then you try to find out the sum of A and B, something like that. This question can be solved in that way. You will use two sliding window. You will do the sliding window operation 2 times with multiple constants, and then you subtract the answer of both of them, and then at the end you will get the answer. We need to find out the answer in such a way that it contains all the vowels. It should contains all the vowels, which is key. What if I say that we find out all the strings, all the substrings which have at most k vowels, which is 5 vowels, and then again find out all the substrings which have at most k minus 1 vowels, which is 4 vowels, and then we subtract it. And when I say at most, it does not always need to be 5. It can be 4 also, it can be 3 also, it can be 2 also. Are you guys getting it what I'm trying to say? Right now we were trying to find out simple like let's talk about the I would say math formula kind of thing. We need to find what?
Number of
Substrings with exact k vowels, substring with k vowels, with exact k vowels. They can have repetition, but the point is they should have 5 vowels. Can this be equivalent to substring with at most, not exactly, 5 vowel minus substring with at most? You have already applied this kind of solution in your 11th, 12th for sure. While you were doing the probabilities and set operation, union, intersection with at most 4 vowel. Is this formula correct? When I say at most 5 vowel, that means it will contain all the substrings which have 1 vowel, 2 vowel, 3 vowel, 4 vowel, 5 vowel. When I say at most 4 vowel, it will contain all the list of the substrings which contains 1 vowel, 2 vowel, 3 vowel, 4 vowel. Now when we are subtracting, we are only going to left with all the substrings which have exactly 5 vowels. Does it make sense for you guys?
Yes, it
And
makes.
we are not finding out the exact 5 vowel now. We are going to find the at most 5 and at most 4, then we will subtract.
Yes.
And there can be repetition, like there is no concept of repetition in this formula, right?
Yeah. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes.
You must have done this in your like 11th, 12th also for sure, at least in 11th. Where you used to where the probability were given, you used to do, hey, I will find out the not having probability, so I will do 1 minus whatever is the probability you have calculated, something like that.
Venn diagram sort of.
Sorry.
Venn diagrams,
Yeah,
like
it was there in
there.
Venn diagram
Yes.
also, probability questions
Yes.
also. You must remember the formula of 1 minus something, that hey, if you want to find out of all those probability which does not have something.
Complement, taking complement.
Correct. I know that. So now you guys tell me how we will apply the sliding window now. We don't need to find out the exact k vowels. So we need to find out all the substrings which have at most k vowels. So we are not going to write the code for each of these separately. We are going to write the code this. Find substrings with at most k vowel, and we can always provide the value of k and find out the answer.
So
Fine.
highest value for K is 3. That
It can
is,
be
we
anything.
are
You will
taking
provide
for
it. I
the.
mean, in this question, it is 5, 4, 3, but we are
Okay.
making a function separately. Find substring
Hmm.
with k count. Simple thing. You will provide the array or string, whatever is there, string, and you will provide the count. Now the question is how you will calculate this.
As soon as
How
my
you will?
map length is k, like whatever answer we'll get will just increment and
Sorry, can you come again?
like as soon as our map length would be equal to k, then after that whatever answer we'll be finding, we'll just keep incrementing our answer until unless our length of
You will
map.
increment the answer by 1 or what? That is also a question.
Sorry,
Sorry?
just a second.
Because that is the main crux of this, main thing of this question. So what we were doing till now is whenever you find out one of the thing which satisfies the condition, you were incrementing the answer by 1, but that is not going to happen in this one because it's not exact k, it is at most k. So 4 vowel is also answer, 5 vowel is also answer, 6 vowel is also answer, 7 vowel is also answer, 8 vowel is also answer. So
We'll
there are
increment
multiple.
answer by the count, the like the whole count we are getting.
What will be the formula for that?
Like the sum of all the values in the map.
Sum of all the values in the map. Are you sure? Because that is always going to be k in that side, in that way. Then you mean sum of the values, or you mean sum of the, okay? You mean the sum of the count basically.
Right, right.
So we can directly say na, left minus right plus one instead of thinking in that way. Simple thing. So whatever is the size of the window, that is going to be the count of that map, no?
Yeah, right. We can say that as well. Right.
Okay. Yeah. And whenever the size goes above k, we will shift, we will shrink from left only. Now we don't need to give a shit about right and all those things.
Correct.
Okay. Let me pull the code also for this. I already have the existing code. Let's see if you guys are able to understand it or not. See if you are able to understand the code or not. Sharing the link also so that you guys can easily play with it. I think this was an interesting question. Yeah. Go through the code and let me know if you guys are able to understand it or not. The thing which I was saying about the updating the count is on line number 55. Right minus left plus 1. And about the shrinking is on line number 41 to 51. Is it clear?
First if condition. Else part I got
Line
it like
number 16.
16 to 27. Like, can you explain like else part? I got it like we are just incrementing the map, and if we are getting
Simple thing. If so, as we know that substring should not contain any character which is not vowel. And if any character is coming up in between, which is not vowel, then everything will be resetted and we will consider the new starting from the next character.
but like we should also set right as well. Like let's say my first character itself is not a vowel C. So
Are
my
you saying that? Are you saying that they are not setting the right?
right.
They
Okay, we are
the right
incrementing.
is already, yeah. There I mean right is already incrementing every loop, so eventually it's already working.
Okay, okay, yeah, got it.
This below code where while we loop is there, it's for shrinking.
Line number,
Line number 41.
okay. Line
Uh,
number 41 is used for shrinking
41.
when the count of
Yes.
the map size is going above k, basically.
All right.
As we know now, at most k.
Yes, at most here. So it's basically subtracting from the left.
Correct,
Erase.
shrinking from the left, which we were doing initially. By the way, if I tell you one thing that you will, how many vowels are there in alphabets?
Five.
5. And our k is already 5. So this condition will never hit when k is equivalent to 5. Because map size will
Yeah.
never go above 5.
Mm.
So line number 41 to 51 will never get triggered when we are having at most 5. This will get triggered when we are calling at most with 4.
My window can be like of zero size as well. Like we are like
Sorry?
so value of k can be zero as well, right?
Value of k can be 0.
Right.
If the value of k is 0, then mp dot size will always be greater than k. You will never uh, hit any count. At most k what? Where there is no vowel.
So we are
I mean, it's a
the
little
function.
bit tricky question. So someone can say, hey, having at most 0 vowels means when that we can have any number of consonant, but in our case it is not like that. In our case it will be that if they are saying that hey, it should have at most 0 vowel, that means it should not have and have any vowel at all, and there is no string, I mean, what will be the answer then according to that? According to you, it will be 0.
It was 0 only, but yeah.
So this thing will never get triggered there. I mean, in those cases are easily handled at the first layer. Why to reach to this level of thing? Why can't we say if k is equivalent to 0, then definitely return 0 directly? I mean, those edge cases are handled directly mostly, where we know we don't need to do any processing. Do anyone have any question?
No, it's clear. Like now we just have to put k 5 and 1 time 4, then just subtract the answer, right?
Correct. That's it. What about others?
No, no doubts.
Clear? Okay. Let's do one more question. Okay, I'm just trying to pick one. Okay, got a good question. Is my screen visible? Yes, it is. Okay. So try to go through this question. Yeah, guys. So how we can solve this problem? By the way, this is the hard one. And this will use the multiple concept which we have already studied. Can anyone explain me the question? Hello? Yep.
Yeah, like so we are given an array. We need to find kth smallest distance. So let's say we have given 131, and we are asked to find first smallest difference between any pair. Let's say we pick up some random pair 1 and 3. You find the difference. Like the modulus difference is absolute difference is 2. So similar to this way, find all the difference. We'll sort it, and what will be the first?
So if I just say it brute force way, find out all the pairs, get their differences, sort their differences, and then return the kth one.
Yeah,
Is it
correct.
correct?
Right.
Okay. So how we can solve this problem? Definitely, this is a brute force approach, and this is too much basically. N square would be required to create a pair. Then sorting would require. I mean, let's not talk about time complexity. Then it will require sorting and all that thing. So it's too much. Can we somehow sort it in a better way?
I mean, one thing we can probably do is to sort the array itself at the first position.
Then
And then, like, let's say we have asked the first smallest. So the first smallest will be on the, like, within the first two uh, numbers only.
no,
And second,
no.
why?
We are talking about the difference, not the number. The difference between one and five. Okay, let's say the sorted array is 1, 5, 6, and 7. You are saying first two will
Right,
get.
right, okay,
It
five.
would be every consistent pair. So 1 and 5, either 1 or 5 can be the smallest, or 5 and 6. So you don't need to create every pair in this case, but you will have to form all the consecutive pairs, and that also depend on the value of k. Let's say the array size is 5, number of pair which you can form consecutively, it will be 4. Now k is saying that, hey, I need the fifth smallest, so definitely you will have to create more pairs. You would have to try more combinations, as the consecutive pair would not be enough in that case.
Right.
But your first idea is correct. We can use um, sorting here. Then what? Sorting is correct. Definitely you are going to use it. Then what?
Can we take the sum of both the numbers and do something?
Why we will take the sum of both the numbers? And what will be those both
Uh,
numbers?
uh, because it's given return the kth smallest distance among all the pairs. So if we take any arithmetic progression as well, consider like two numbers are there. So smallest distances, sum of n is equal to a into n minus 1, sorry, bracket n minus 1 into d. So there are two numbers. So a into d, because n minus 1 will be 2 minus 1, so that is 1.
How you
Like
are going to use the k
so
into that formula?
uh, kth is the smallest distance among, so that will be the d. K is equivalent to d because it's the distance.
No, k is not the distance. K is the that hey it
Smallest distance.
yeah. I mean, if you sort all the difference, k is saying hey I want that pair which have the fifth smallest difference distance. K is not
Okay.
equivalent to d at all.
So it can be 5d as well.
It can be
5d as well.
5D. I don't get that. What is the significance of that?
Uh, 5d in the sense ये arithmetic progression में है, लेकिन बीच में 5 का डिफरेंस है उन दोनों के, इस तरह से।
How it is useful?
जैसे 1 हो गया और 6 हो गया, तो डिस्टेंस इज 5d।
But there is no first thing is there is no arithmetic progression here. Second thing is there is no constant difference here. Distance difference between any two number can be anything. It's not going to follow any pattern in as such in any way. It can be two, it can be one, it can be prime, it can be constant. I mean, like what
Okay,
can
like
be?
it can be the opposite as well, like the higher number
Yes.
first and
Yes.
smaller number next.
First step is correct about sorting. Then what? What if I say you will have to use binary search? I have a question. What can be the maximum distance in the? How can you find out the maximum distance?
Like
Can
that
anyone
is
tell?
always minimum minus maximum.
Okay. And how can you find out the smallest distance? That is also easy.
Depends.
Not depends. It's very easy.
I have 1, 3, 5, 6, then the smallest will be like
The
what asking, the number or the smallest?
difference. Correct. Smallest difference.
That can be
As you,
always, you can set 0 always, like
it can be.
you can assume that always, like it can like
I no. We cannot. We cannot assume it. So as you mentioned, the maximum distance is going to be the difference between the maximum value and the minimum value. Similarly, the minimum difference between any pair would be equivalent to the minimum of all the consecutive pairs which we can form in the array. For example, the given arrays indexes are 1 0 1 2 3 4. So one pair would be 0 1, next pair would be 1 2, next pair would be 2 3, then next pair would be 3 4, the next pair would be 4 5. Then you will take whatever is the minimum difference of all of them, and that will be minimum. That value will be your low, and the maximum distance which you have find out from the minimum and maximum, that will be your high. And you will use the binary search with a combination of sliding window to solve this problem. Are you guys able to use this information somehow to solve this problem? I have told you you are going to use sliding window here. I have told you you are going to use binary search. Now it's on your mind how you are going to use it at least. You know which concepts to use. Now you need to formulate it. Also, I've already told you what is going to be your low, what is going to be your high. Now you only thing which you need to figure out is how are we actually using binary search? Sorry, how are we actually using sliding window here? Binary search, so we got to know how we are why we are using. Also, one more time, I want to say to everyone, please guys solve the question after the session. It's going to be very important to cover up your basics. These things is easy. Like I mean, that this I can understand it if you're not able to formulate it. This is a hard question. That is okay. But you should be doing practice at your time. Otherwise, it will not work out for you. By this time, at least you must have solved 30 question. At least 30 to 40 question. even if I consider 2 questions a day. Anyone have any idea? And one more thing, so Sandeep, you mentioned that low can be 0. It can be 0. You will still find out the answer. But what I was trying to know is what that if we need to find out the minimum distance, how you will find that out. But low can be 0. Again, as I think we have discussed this before also, that you can keep the value of low even -1 also. Or sorry, you can keep the value 0 in all the questions. It does not matter what is the question. You will still get the answer, but we will end up wasting some processing power.
Right, right.
So how we are using the low end value? How let's say low is 0 and high is the maximum distance which we can achieve. So how we are using it? So the reason why we are using the binary search is we are saying that hey, this is the distance which is the sum which can be the answer. Now we are checking, does this distance is the kth distance or not?
And to find kth distance, we'll use somehow sliding window.
No, we try to find out whether the mid which we have found out is can be the kth distance or not. Is the kth distance or not? If it is greater than the kth, if it is something k plus 1, k plus 2, then we know we need to go lesser. So we need to go left half. But if we know it is it is lesser than k minus 1, it is kth minus 1, it is kth minus 2, then we know we need to go, then we will move to the righter half of the low and high. This is how we are using the binary search plus the that thing. So what you are going to do is you will find out, let's say you find out the mid, then you try to find out how many pairs are there with that distance apart. How many pairs are there which have a distance lesser than that or greater than that, whatever you want to calculate, it can be done in both the ways. If you found out that hey, there are k pairs which have a distance lesser than the mid, that means you have already found out the answer. No?
Right, 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 right. So now my number of pairs will tell me like at what position of my distance I am.
Yeah, because here we don't need to return the pair. Here we only need to return the distance. So we don't give a shit what is that pair. So how we can find out? Okay, simple question. Now the question is changed to different thing. You are given an array. You need to find out how many pairs are there which have a distance lesser than the given value. I am giving a value of k to you. Find out all the pairs which have a difference lesser than k. Now this is the question which you need to solve. The first layer is already solved. Anyone have any idea how we are going to do it? And your array is already sorted. It should make it more easier for you guys.
I mean, like if we are using sliding window, we'll keep expanding window until unless I'm getting the difference.
Greater than k, correct.
Yeah. And like
And
the
you
number
will,
of pairs will be n into n minus 1.
and whenever it goes above k, you will start sliding the window.
Right.
And that's how you can calculate it easily. And the count you will increment is not 1, it will be left minus right plus 1. Because whatever is coming up between that is always going to have a lesser distance.
Left minus right or like n into n minus 1 because the pairs.
Not at all. How many pairs you will be able to form in that? Okay, yeah. So it depends how you are incrementing actually. So if you are updating your IA answer at every iteration, then you can easily use left minus right, sorry, right minus left. But if you are only updating it when you are reaching to the max, that hey, now we have exceeded, that
Yeah.
would be a bad strategy.
Okay.
If you are saying hey, I will only update once the window goes over full, then you will, there may be a chance that you may never overfull and you will never receive the answer. So that's why at every iteration you will keep updating, and eventually if you see the formula will become same thing which you mentioned, the exponential thing. So let's say the initial window was 1 0 and 1, you did right minus left plus 1, then the window becomes 0 1 2, you again did left minus right plus 1, then the window becomes 0 1 2 3 4, you again did left minus right plus 1. That's how we are going
Yeah.
to do it. And the way that formula came up, at every iteration you are only adding a single element there, so that single element will form the pair with the rest of the one. So that's why we are saying left minus right minus left plus one. That means say how many elements were there in the window, new element came up, so one into that. I mean that's how the increment is coming basically.
Right, right.
So I know guys this is little bit going to be hard, but I'll try to think more about this. I'm giving you the link of the question. Try to solve it at your end. And if you are not solving the question at your own time, it will be very hard in the upcoming sessions from you. As we go more with more concepts, the concepts are going to be kind of merged together. We will end up using multiple concepts in the same question, like the way we are using here. And this is the nothing. I mean, you will see multiple things there. So Sandeep, you
Yesterday's homework which you mentioned.
okay? The last one, I think the ending of the session. Okay.
Right, right.
Okay. Yeah. So guys, do you guys have any question? Try to solve it at your end. Otherwise, we will see. We will spend 5 to 10 minutes in the next session, and we are going to start new concept in the next thing on the Saturday Sunday. I think we are going to have the session on this Wednesday. I'm not sure. I will like inform you guys. If we are going to have it, definitely it will be a doubt session only. So in the upcoming Saturday and Sunday, we are going to explore the new concept. Maybe I'm thinking to start the recursion and backtracking, but I will see what would be better. Because recursion and backtracking is very confusing. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So can we take the sum in this question? Like sum, the first one, whatever the value is, we'll put it in a variable called sum. Then the next value, we will take the difference and then put it in the like add the second value and the first value and increment the sum value and
So
like
the
that.
only issue with I have with that concept is I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to play with the numbers like a minus b plus b. So if you at the end we
Okay.
will have
Yeah.
something. But how we will make sure that it's the kth largest? Sorry, the kth smallest. That is the issue.
Okay.
We don't just need to find out the distance. We need to find out the kth smallest distance. So do you guys have any other questions?